What if I told you the difference between the life you have and the life you dream of is just 1%? Not 100, not 50, just 1% of effort, 1% of courage, 1% of change. Every morning, you see, greatness doesn't strike like lightning. It builds like a storm, quiet, consistent, relentless. And it always begins before the world wakes up. So while others hit snooze, you rise. While others scroll, you build. This is where winners are made. Not in one grand leap, but in daily inches. 1% at a time. What if I told you the difference between where you are and where you have no you could be is just 1%, not a miracle, not a breakthrough, just one intentional shift every single morning. That's all it takes. 1% of courage, 1% of clarity, 1% of action. Compounded over time, repeated without compromise. Because change isn't about waiting for the right moment. It's about creating the right momentum. And that starts before the world even opens its eyes. Your morning is not a gap between sleep and responsibility. It is the launch pad of who you're becoming. You don't rise at dawn because you have to. You rise because greatness doesn't negotiate with comfort. Because the moment you open your eyes, you're faced with a choice: repeat yesterday or build tomorrow. And the first hour is where that decision is made. That 1 hour, unguarded, unfiltered, is pure opportunity. Use it recklessly, and life slips by unnoticed. But use it with purpose. You shift everything. Think about what that really means. The first 60 minutes of your day are not just minutes. They are a mirror of your discipline, your desire, your direction. They tell the truth about who you are, without excuses. That moment when you choose to read instead of scroll, that's 1%. When you move your body, when you stretch your mind, when you choose presence over autopilot, that's 1%. And while the world's still sleeping, still stuck in yesterday's chaos, you are crafting an edge. A mental edge, a physical edge, a spiritual edge. You're stacking wins before most people even open their eyes. And that consistent act, day after day, becomes your advantage. It becomes your power. You're not just waking up, you're leveling up. One morning at a time. That's the part people miss. They think transformation is loud, they think it's sudden, but the real work, it's silent. It's early. It's repetitive. 1% improvement doesn't shout. It whispers. It builds. It doesn't knock you over with progress. It makes you earn it with quiet, consistent action. And that's what makes it powerful. Because while everyone else is looking for shortcuts, you're doing the reps, quietly, relentlessly. No applause, no spotlight, just purpose. You don't need validation when you've got vision. And that vision shows up every morning when you do. This kind of discipline doesn't just shape your habits, it sculpts your identity. Because who you are becoming is hidden in what you choose, when no one is watching. And let's be honest, there will be resistance. Your mind will fight you. It will tell you that you're tired, that you've done enough, that you can skip today and still be okay. But you didn't come this far to be okay. You came to be exceptional. And exceptional doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't entertain excuses, it confronts them. Head on. Every time your mind pushes back, you push harder. Because discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being relentless. You don't need motivation when you've built momentum. You don't chase the feeling, you chase the standard. And every morning you rise 1% higher, you raise that standard, until your old self can't even recognize you anymore. And that shift, that inner war you win before breakfast, it echoes into every decision, every conversation, every goal. People start to feel something different in you. Not because you tell them, but because you show them through your energy, your clarity, your presence. That's the ripple effect of 1%. You stop reacting to life and start leading it. You stop shrinking to fit spaces that don't deserve you, because you know exactly who you are and exactly what you're building. This isn't a quick fix. This is your evolution, brick by brick, day by day, 1% every morning, not for attention, not for applause, but for alignment with the person you were meant to be. And here's the truth most people never grasp. Your transformation isn't just for you. Someone out there is waiting on the version of you that shows up with fire, focus, and follow through. Someone is waiting on your courage to rise so they can rise too. Your consistency doesn't just shift your future. It gives others permission to believe in theirs. That 1% you gain every morning, it stacks into influence. It becomes impact. You become the proof that change is possible. That effort is worth it. That slow growth still wins. And in a world addicted to instant gratification, you become the rare force that plays the long game. You become the kind of leader this world desperately needs. One who doesn't speak about change. One who lives it. Discipline is the invisible force behind every extraordinary life. It's not glamorous. It doesn't make headlines. But it delivers results every single time. The power of improving yourself by just 1% every morning lies in the discipline to show up, even when no one's watching, even when no one's clapping, especially then, because consistency beats intensity when intensity gets tired. Think about it. Anyone can go hard for a week, maybe two, but the ones who win, the ones who last, they've mastered the art of small, daily victories. They understand that 1% isn't about doing something dramatic. It's about doing something deliberate. When you choose discipline over comfort, you plant seeds of greatness. And if you do that every morning, without fail, eventually, you grow a life so strong, no storm can shake it. But let's get one thing clear. This isn't about motivation. Motivation is unreliable. It fades. It shifts with mood, weather, energy. Discipline is a decision you make before the emotion shows up. It's waking up when your body wants more sleep. It's opening that book when your mind wants to scroll. It's going to the gym when your excuses start sounding logical. And in those moments, when you push past resistance, you're not just winning the morning. You're training your identity. You're telling yourself, I am the kind of person who shows up. And the more you do that, the more powerful that identity becomes. This is why the 1% rule is so powerful, because small, consistent actions build a self-image of resilience, of grit, of unshakable focus. Over time, this consistency creates compound momentum. Think about it like interest. On day 1, the change is almost invisible. You might wonder if it's even worth it. But on day 30, 60, 90, you're sharper, stronger, more grounded. Your thoughts are clearer. Your reactions more controlled. Your energy more stable. And people start to notice, not because you're bragging, but because there's a shift in how you carry yourself. That's the compound effect in motion. That's what 1% daily growth creates. An undeniable transformation. But you only get there if you're disciplined enough to keep going when the results are still hidden. And most people quit there, right before the change shows up. They give up because they don't see the payoff fast enough. But not you. Not if you commit to the process with everything you've got. And here's the truth. Discipline doesn't mean doing more. It means doing what matters, repeatedly. It's easy to get distracted by productivity myths. to think you need to pack your mornings with 10 habits, 5 tasks, 3 routines. But real growth isn't about how much you cram in. It's about how deeply you commit to a few key actions that move your life forward. Read the right book. Move your body. Center your mind. Visualize your day. That's it. 4 things done with full presence can change your life more than 40 things done halfway. The 1% improvement rule is about clarity. It's about eliminating noise and locking in on what fuels your evolution. Discipline helps you strip away the distractions until only what matters remains. But don't mistake simplicity for ease. Discipline will challenge you. It will test your patience. There will be mornings where everything in you wants to quit, where your mind plays tricks on you, telling you that one missed day won't matter, that you deserve a break, that nothing's changing anyway. That voice, it's not truth. It's your comfort zone trying to pull you back. And you have to shut it down. You have to answer it with action. Because every time you do what you said you would, despite resistance, you reinforce your power. You build a body of evidence that you can rely on yourself. And that's self-trust. It's the foundation of confidence. Confidence doesn't come from compliments. It comes from consistency, from the promises you keep with yourself. That's why 1% matters so much. Because it's manageable, it's doable, and it's transformational if you respect it. If you honor the process and stop looking for shortcuts, you'll build the kind of inner strength that can't be shaken. You'll no longer need to talk about discipline because your life will speak for you. People will feel your presence, your momentum, your edge. And they won't understand how you got there. But you will. You'll know it was the 1% you earned every morning. The choices you made when no one was looking. The quiet victories that became your identity. And it all started with a decision. A decision to stop waiting for change and start becoming it. 1%. Daily. Without apology. Without excuses. Without looking back. Excuses are the most seductive form of self-sabotage. They sound rational. They sound protective. They even feel comforting. But underneath every excuse is the same brutal truth. Fear. Fear of discomfort. Fear of failure. Fear of becoming someone your current self doesn't recognize. And so we reach for the same phrases. I don't have time. I'm not ready. I'll start tomorrow. But let's be honest. You do have time. You just haven't prioritized. You are capable. You just haven't committed. And tomorrow is the safest place to hide from the life you say you want. It lets you delay your potential without guilt. But every time you make an excuse, you trade progress for comfort. You choose stagnation over transformation. And you give up the one thing you actually controls effort. There's nothing harmless about excuses. They aren't just little slips of weakness. They are full-scale attacks on your momentum. Because excuses don't come alone, they come with patterns.